Well, here we are. It's Monday of Thanksgiving week, a Thanksgiving that will probably be very different for a lot of us. It's been a hard year, and let's face it, I think we could do with a little bit of sunshine, some time together with the people we love as best we can in these difficult days. But it also seems to me that in the midst of the difficulty, so many have risen to the occasion to be generous with their time, with their affection, with their attention, their presence, and their resources. In today's gospel taken from the book of Luke, we hear about generosity. We are given this beautiful little encounter, Jesus looking upon the poor widow who puts in her 2 small coins into the temple treasury. There's a great saint in the life of the church, the 4th century Archbishop of Milan, St. Ambrose, who says that in a mystical way, the poor widow represents the church. The widow represents the church putting in everything that it has to care for the poor, those who truly live in want for the necessities of life. So I think that's one way for us to look at the gospel today, recognizing the church's obligation and continuing work to care for the poor, those in greatest need. But then if we bring it home, if we make it more personal, this story of the widow's mite, this story of the widow giving her 2 coins, reminds us of the importance to give all that we have into the church, to put our whole selves in service to the church. I often tell a story that I heard from my own pastor growing up, a true story, of a man named David who was at a family get-together, a neighborhood get-together with other couples from their block. The women were in the kitchen, the men were out grilling around the fire, and as so often happens, the conversation turned to matters of family finances. And they started talking to David about the fact that he had 2 sons in college at the same time. And one of the dads turned to David and said, "David, how much money does it take to send 2 boys to college at the same time?" He said, "It takes all of it." How much does it take to be a good and faithful Christian, to be a good and faithful steward of all that the Lord has given to us? It takes all of it. This Thanksgiving week, in a very intentional way, we pause to reflect on God's goodness to us, even in the midst of strife, even in the midst of loss and grief. We reflect on the truth that God is with us, God is good, God is faithful.